amazing, and I'm so grateful because it's helping so many people out there, and that's really the most important thing. And the fact that I used to be overweight and had my own battle with weight loss, I have to kind of pinch myself every day that I'm able to reach out and offer this program that really takes people from a beginning level to an advanced level in that 6 weeks. So it's very doable. And because that's the bottom line, isn't it? People get very frustrated very easily when it comes to, well, health and wellness. I like to call myself a lifestyle expert. I was a keynote speaker at a few wellness seminars, and I spoke about tools to achieve a healthier lifestyle, and also how I overcame. I do live it, and it's not something that happened overnight. It definitely takes a lot of discipline, but it's really like adopting a lot of new positive behaviors to cancel out all those negative ones, and they all add up over a period of time. But what I found is if you want to change your life, you really have to shift your focus and change your conditioning. And that happens it's such a great question, because really making the decision is the ultimate power, isn't it? And so once you've really decided, some people are overweight, unhealthy, and they really are happy and they don't really care. But whether you're 10 pounds overweight or 100 pounds overweight, if you feel badly about yourself, then you've checked out on your life. So it's time to make a change for the better. So make the decision first and foremost, and then set your intention, and then you really want to set those mini goals. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. I love this saying, like, look at the first step instead of the whole staircase. You got to start somewhere. So I think people get so overwhelmed. They think they got to work out 2 hours every day. They think they've got to eat nothing but vegetables, in order to achieve the results. The truth is, if you set the mini goals and you stick to that game plan, when I was trying to achieve a specific goal, I wrote down, first of all, you have to be realistic with that goal, right?
All right.
And you have to set an intention. And then when you write down your goals, you have to be very specific. Ask yourself, what am I passionate about? Because passion will lead you to your purpose. Whatever it is for you. Maybe it is, I want to be more healthy. Maybe it's, I want to be more energetic for my children. Maybe it is, I want to get down to a size 2. But what's the emotion behind that? Is that what's going to make you happy? Because ultimately what we're all looking for, I think, is to be happy.
All right.
And so my first goal was to find a role model. In what I was trying to do, which was become a host and a spokesperson, you find a role model. You find a role model. For me, that was what I did. Let's say somebody wants to lose weight. They find somebody that's achieved their goal, and they pick their brain. And believe me, when you've accomplished your goal, you want to share your wealth. You want to give back. You want to help somebody. You want to inspire somebody, don't you? You want to motivate. And I find becoming a motivator yourself really fuels you to keep on track. So that was my first goal. Then the second one is, because knowledge is power.
All right.
So, I mean, there's so much out there. I think starting out, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Again, if you start out, okay, I'm going to do 20 minutes 4 times a week. Yes, because then you build your foundation, you build your endurance, and then you can work up from there. I work out, really, I work out to maintain. I'm not one of these insane people. I work out 45 minutes to an hour, but I combine the cardio, the resistance training, and the yoga, because yoga for me is like medicine to my body. I can't live without it. And as we get older, that's a whole nother story. You're dealing with the aches and the pains, and you really have to be careful when you're launching into a program for the first time to take the care, to do the proper warm-up, to do even the yoga poses that's going to really even prepare your body further, and then make sure that you're stretching thoroughly after you work out. So you don't get discouraged. If you try to do too much too soon, guess what happens? You burn out, and then you don't want to, you're so sore, you don't want to do it again. So you have to be realistic with your goal. Start slow, get support, but you need to take action every day towards that goal. I don't care if it's going online and getting involved. There's so many community chat rooms you can get involved in. if you want to lose weight. Beachbody, the company I work for, has an amazing community. So if you start my program, you go on the message boards and you can jump into a thread that's already happening, like 40 and over, or I've got 100 pounds to lose and I don't know where to start. Or you can start your own. I meet these people, Randy, over the last 10 years. It's been so amazing because, again, Beachbody is like a family, and so they award our customers trips. You know, we have these summits every year, and the next summit's coming up, the end of June in Vegas, where there's going to be 5,000 of our Beachbody coaches there, most of which have done my program, or somebody in their family has done my program. So they come up to me, and one, for instance, you know, it saved her mother's life. You know, it really is that drastic. Or, you know, just giving people hope, or, yes, giving them their life back, because when you lose weight, you have more energy, you feel better about yourself, you're empowered, you're just more productive. The biggest compliment I think I get is that I'm very approachable, that I give you a modified version. I let you know that it's okay if you can't. I'm very good at instructing and giving them a cue just when they need it. You know, you've only got, 5 more reps or whatever it is. I kind of have a sixth sense of when to cue that. Listen, it's 50-50. It's half the battle. So that's another reason why you have to, for some people, I would say it is 80, because if you don't have proper fuel, that's key. And I think the problem is most people are eating too large of portions and eating all the wrong things. What I figured out along the way is the way to stay lean is you've got to eat the small little meals throughout the day. Okay. You do. I mean, because let's say if you skip breakfast, once in a while, only if I let myself get hungry, which I never really do because I eat every 3 hours, because that way your metabolism is going to be working. It's just kind of a natural thing. You get into a rhythm. Okay. And it's really the small little meals throughout the day that's going to, because think about it, even if you're eating a healthy meal, if you eat too much, high protein, lots of vegetables, whole grains, good fats. If you're going to have your carbs, have them for breakfast. Stick with your oatmeal or your whole grain cereal if you have an allergy to it. All right. Otherwise, you can have whole grains, but in moderation. Remember, whole grains, brown rice, oatmeal, get rid of the white flour products. Get rid of the very, very rarely. I'm not going to say never because I'm from Wisconsin, and when I go home, what can I say? Okay. It happens. All right. But for the most part, I'm very healthy. I'm very clean. And it's really not eating 3 hours before you go to bed. It's making sure you get a variety of vegetables. Remember, portion control is key. You have to remember, you can't go out to dinner and have just this enormous entree. Cut it in half, take the rest to go, have it for lunch the next day. It's so true. If you want to have more energy, what we put in our mouths is fueling our body. And if you want longevity, you want to prevent diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, all of those things, you have to cut out all the... Well, certainly there are some out there, and if they're in the fitness and wellness area, but I think for the most part, people just kind of give up hope or something. They reach a certain point and they think, oh, it's too late for me. Believe me, it's not. And I do have one story I want to tell you, because this follows in line with excuses. And I've met so many people that have achieved unbelievable feats in this area, and they just sparkle with energy, and they're so happy and feel better about themselves, and that's what it's really about. I gave out the award a couple years ago at the summit for Beachbody for the best transformation of the year. And you know who won? Who? As a woman in a wheelchair. Interesting. She did P90X, but she just did what she could with her arms, and she was consistent, and she did what she could every day, and she lost 60 pounds. And, I still get emotional thinking about that, because when you hear all the excuses, and when somebody like that has that determination, well, that's where the goal setting comes in, as well as you making yourself a priority. And if you make that priority and you schedule that in and you stay accountable, you keep a journal. There's so many different tools that I talk about when I do my motivational speaking, because you know, that's a thing. Fuel your mind with positivity. So you're reading the positive books. Wow. There's so many amazing programs that are going to inspire you. There's Breakthrough with Tony Robbins. There's the Master Class with Oprah. Yeah. These shows are awe-inspiring. There's The Biggest Loser. You know, keep yourself positive. Do your affirmations every day. So another big thing is changing those negative thought patterns, because what we think about is what we're manifesting into our lives. So if we're constantly telling ourselves, I'm so happy and grateful that all these amazing opportunities are coming into my life. I have faith in myself. I believe in myself. You know, those kind of empowering things. And by the way, ask yourself empowering questions. Okay. Like, what is going to make this worth it to me? You know, instead of the questions like, you know, why am I so lazy? You know, we're not victims. You know, we're the director, the creator, the writer of our lives. And you have the ability. You know, happiness is not a destination. I was in that hole. I've been there. I was there thinking there's no way I'm going to break this cycle. I was such a, you know, and again, you know, we talked about it just really matters how you feel about yourself. So even though I was about 50 pounds overweight, and to some that's not that much, 50? But to me, you know, I was always active in high school. I was a cheerleader, I was a gymnast, I was in track and field. I ate whatever I wanted. I had poor habits. I unfortunately had a mom that loved to bake 24/7. And, you know, I had no knowledge on how to eat right. Well, you know, like most women, we graduate high school, we become inactive, and we go to college, or for me, I was a lifeguard. I'm sitting in a chair, and I keep eating poorly. And before I knew it, 20 pounds escalated to 40. And it was just that feeling of, I don't have control. You know, you think you're going to start that diet the next day, and you're determined, but then you have no willpower. If I can do it, I know anybody can. And it's a process, and it's a commitment, but it really is flipping that switch and adopting the new positive behaviors, the positive thoughts, retraining and reprogramming your brain, setting those goals, doing all these little positive disciplines, and the more consistent you are with that. And by the way, that's my philosophy with everything. Everybody's so different. I mean, for some it might be the exercise because people just hate it. They can't wrap their head around it. But if you find something you enjoy, and whether it's just going outside and walking, and that's another way just to commune with nature, get yourself out of your head, and you can be reciting your affirmations at the same time. I have discipline, and I thank you for a healthy body, and I'm on my way to achieving my goals. I know I can achieve my goals. You know, and by the way, write down all the negative chatter. You know, I say I like to kick the inner cynic to the curb. You know, write down all those negative thoughts that you have on a daily basis, and then right next to it, write down a positive, a positive affirmation, something to flip to. So whenever that thought comes into your head, I understand that, and I say it really is about start small, set the goals, and if you're consistent at anything, you're going to make progress. I think people give up. I think that's, you know, they don't see the immediate results. They don't get that instant gratification, and they give up. That's where you have to dig deep, and you have to accept yourself the way you are today and love yourself the way you are today. Look in the mirror and tell yourself what you love about yourself and focus on that. And then also, one thing we didn't talk about yet is what I've incorporated for myself personally that has helped me stay on track. Well, there's so many different aspects for me. The first thing is meditation. Because if I didn't do my meditation every day, and you could start small with that. Start with 5 minutes. It is, but it keeps me focused. Okay. It keeps me calm, and it keeps me centered. And that's really important in these busy, hectic times. And yes, I meditate. I try to meditate 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night.
Really?
Yes. And you could start easy by just following your breath, just simply sitting there in a quiet place and follow your breath. The inhale and the exhale, and try to empty out your mind. I've really just begun doing it the last couple of years. I have a solution because for me, I had a really hard time when I first started. I just could not turn off the brain. And you know, they say, okay, if you start thinking, go back to your breath. But it was so difficult for me. So what I did was I bought Dr. Weil's breathing exercises.
Andrew Weil, right.
I love him. This breathing CD just saved me in so many ways, because most people don't know how to breathe properly. And by learning these simple techniques, like if you don't have time for a nap and you went in the back room and you did these 5 exercises, you would be so rejuvenated you wouldn't even believe it. But what it does, you do the exercises and you're so calm and you're so relaxed that you're ready for your meditation now. So that's one thing. The combination of those are brilliant. So I do that every day, and then the yoga also fuels my body, my soul, my spirit. I feel it's very important to have faith. Spirituality comes into play because you have to be passionate about your life. You have to know that there's a bigger purpose, and ask yourself, what's my purpose? And do I want to live my life being unhealthy? Do I really, or do I want to step up and really, I believe my purpose is this. My purpose
to help other people,
is
inspire
to
other people
motivate
to be
and inspire other people in this arena of lifestyle, and that is everything from eating right, exercise, wellness. It is the balance of all these things. But because you can lose weight and you're still not going to be happy if you don't work on the inner you. If you're in the right space, sometimes it's shorter, sometimes it's longer.
Okay.
And there's another thing you can do if you're really struggling. There's a million great CDs, meditation CDs. Just Google it.
That's a good tip.
There's a million out there. Yes. And I've bought many of them. And one was letting go of stress. One was just guided meditations. And you just lay there and close your eyes, and they take you through the visualization process. They've made up their mind, and you can change your mind. You can change your mind right now, and you can just start easy. And as soon as you see that first result too, it's very exciting and encouraging. And that's why again, my program, I believe, has been successful. Slim in 6, because it does take you from that beginning level. But here's the thing, this is not a female workout. This is a very total body,
really
thorough, effective workout. They can order that from beachbody.com.
Beachbody. Okay.
Yes. And I really do. I take you from a beginning level to an advanced level in that 6 weeks. I pretty much hold your hand the whole time. And there are modified moves. And you just feel great, because when you've accomplished it, I think it's about being a better person. I think it's being a better human being. And what can I contribute? And how can I be a better mom? How can I be a better wife? And you're going to be better if you feel better. I feel better, and I wish I knew then what I know now. No. I'm in a much more calm place.
Wow.
It's nice to be comfortable in your own skin. That's the beauty of getting older for a woman. There's a lot of downfalls, but the beauty is that you really know who you are, and you're not going to put up with as much as you might have used, in the past or something. But really, it's the quality of life, isn't it? I mean, we're not going to be around forever. And so how do you want to live your life? Do you want to participate? Do you want to have energy? Do you want to feel good? Or do you want to have all these health problems and feel lethargic and really be down on yourself? Because that's the bottom line. When you're overweight and you're not working out, and that it turns into depression, and pretty soon, you just feel like, you can't do anything. So just by taking control over your life, and that's why setting those goals are so important, because taking that action is a powerful message that you're putting out into the universe. Because you attract what you put out there. Just do it, because you know what? You can, like I said, if all you have to do is shift that focus and recondition those negative thoughts into positive thoughts and believe in yourself. Take it till you make it, right? I believe in it 1,000,000%. That's right. And you do have to take the actions. You can't just sit idly by.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Problem with me, problem with everybody.
Right. You do have to be proactive, because whenever you set the intention and you believe in yourself and you just take the steps in that direction,